What's up, guys? This is episode 3 of Poshmark Side Business. Today I'm going to go over 10 tips to make your listing amazing. Alright guys, so tip number 1 to making a great listing: clean your clothes before you take pictures of them. I would hope that that's common knowledge and every single person watching right now is going, no shit, Justin, but I'm sure there's some people out there that this is important to them. Clean your clothes before you know what I mean? But that also includes, like, use a lint roller. Get as much lint off as possible. Or, as you can see here, I like to iron a lot of my shirts, especially dress shirts that I'm going to be posting very shortly. So I want to iron them. I want them to look as presentable as possible because these photos are all that customer has to look at. So you gotta make sure your clothing looks as great as possible before you even think about taking a photo of it. Also, be sure to check out the directions on the little tags on your clothes. There are plenty of pieces of clothing that I, in my head, would love to have ironed, but it explicitly says never iron, right? So like, just make sure that it is something that can be ironed if that's the direction you wanna go in. So tip number 2 is gonna be that the background of your images is very important. So as you can see here, I have a very nice wood floor. It's not real wood, it's laminate, but whatever. But it looks wood, it looks very nice. So if you look at all my pictures in my profile, 95% of them have this background because it just makes my pictures look uniform. They all look similar. And it also just makes them look that a little bit nicer. I've seen a lot of people put pictures of, their clothes are just lying on their bed. They're just hanging up, you just see a closet in the background. But then you'll notice a lot of the people with 100,000, almost a million, plus followers, those people, their backgrounds, their pictures look nicer. This is not a coincidence, okay? Another thing that's really important is lighting when you're taking those photos. So I like to turn on as many lights as possible when I'm taking that photo, especially because the photo's right here, right? I want this light, that light, as many lights on as possible. I'm not trying to buy photography equipment over here, but I'm going to use what I have to the best of my ability.
Don't forget that Poshmark uses square photos, just like Instagram. So in your phone, when you're taking that photo, go to the square mode. That way you avoid cutting out any important details. Tip number 4 is to show close-ups of the details of that piece of clothing. So whether that's the fabric, whether that's the pattern, whatever it is. Here I'm going to show you the tag a little bit closer up. Now this isn't very well-known brand, so it won't really matter. This is not a photo that I'll probably use. And then I'm also going to show a close-up of the fabric. Look at this, it looks just like denim, so that's definitely something I want to showcase.
So tip number 5 is going to piggyback right off of that. So just like you want to show the details that make it stand out, I also think it is important to show the imperfections. If there's a hole, I think it's okay to put a picture of that hole, because what that's going to do is going to make you an honest seller. And once people trust you, they're more able to buy from you. So when you're making the listing, there's something called the cover photo. Now the cover photo is the first photo that you choose out of the 4 that you get the option of adding. It is also the most important photo that you choose. So always make sure that this is your best photo, usually showing the entire article of clothing. Now, that's how I do it. I've seen a lot of people take photos from the internet. I've seen a lot of people model the clothing yourself. If you're an attractive person, I'm sorry, that's just how the world is. Model your own clothes. If they fit you good and you're getting rid of them for other reasons. Personally, I'm getting rid of a lot of my clothing because it doesn't fit, so I can't model my clothing. I have a close friend, I've considered using him as a stand-in model, and I try and shy away from using pictures from the internet only because I think it shows a lack of authenticity. That's just me personally. I've seen people where every photo that they have of that article of clothing is from the internet, and that I'm never gonna buy a used piece of clothing from where I can't even tell what it looks like. That's why I try to be as genuine as possible, and I think it'll set me apart from a lot of my competitors.
So here's my phone's homepage. I'm going to click on Poshmark, and we're going to create a listing. Let me go to my main page. First, you want to click on the camera icon in the center bottom of the screen. This is going to open up your camera, so you can see my hand right now. And then you're going to click on the folder icon in the lower left-hand corner. So this is going to open up your photos, and then you can look at your camera roll. Now remember, the first photo I choose is going to be the cover photo, so remember that last tip. This is the most important photo. So tip number 7 is going to be to put lots of detail in the title and even more in the description. So when I add a title, I follow a couple trends with every piece of clothing. First, I like to put the brand name. I like to usually start with the color. So here I'm using the phrase denim as the color almost. And then I'm going to describe what type of clothing it is, so button down. And as I'm typing, notice this small number in sort of like the middle right of the screen. And as every character I type, it goes down. So definitely keep that in mind. So next, we're going to add a description. And if I'm being honest, the first couple lines of my description are exactly the same as my title. Maybe in a different order or something along those lines. So I'm going to put the brand name again. I was going to start with the size. I decided to get rid of that and not do that first. So again, denim, button down. And here I will put that it is an extra large, but it fits like a large and it's very tight in the sleeves. So I want to put as much description as possible so that these people who obviously cannot try the clothing on, so that my potential customers will be able to get a really good feel for how this shirt, not only, obviously the photos help them see how the shirt will look, but the description will help them understand how it may feel or how it may look on them, kind of thing. So I think the description is really important. Now what you'll notice is I'm going to be putting almost like a disclaimer at the end of my description, and this is something that normally I copy and paste, but I wanted to type it out for you right now. So I put 2 little asterisks, 2 little stars, and I write willing to negotiate or bundle, but I would like to stay close to asking price. Tip number 8 is actually going to be that emojis can help you with your character count. It can also help you stand out. So here I'm going to use a couple emojis at the end of my description. I think it's just cute. I put a picture of a guy, a girl, because this is me and my sister. And then I put fireworks, a picture of a castle, because we're all about Disney. Is going to be to provide recommendations of other articles of clothing that you're also selling that go well with that. That's going to increase your chances of bundling. It's going to increase your sales. So obviously, unfortunately, I did not do that on the last listing, as you saw. However, what I would have done with that denim shirt is I would have recommended khaki pants. I would have recommended the red shorts that I have on there. I would have recommended the blue shoes that I have on my Poshmark. So those are just some examples. And finally, guys, tip number 10 is gonna be do not use your flash, and do not, for the love of everything good, do not use a filter on your clothing. I already said that earlier, but so help me, if any of you use a filter, I'm gonna find you. All right, well, that was weird. So anyway, I hope this video really helped you out. I hope your listings look a lot better after this. If you have any questions or any tips that you think should have been added in the video, please drop them in the comments. Let me know. Click that subscribe button because there's definitely more videos to come. Really looking forward to episode number 4.